Yeah, I'm Anselm Cox from the Digital Transformation Agency, and really I'm the Director of Policy on Digital Sourcing. So actually a little bit adjunct to smart cities in that my responsibility is doing the regulatory policy around how the government can buy ICT and digital products and services. So it's not about what we buy, it's about how we buy it. So I mean, the DTA's changed over time, and as has things like smart cities and the way that we transform. And I think that what the DTA is really good at is actually putting users at the centre of design. And I think that that's actually where we can make the biggest inroads in smart cities. So instead of actually looking at everything as an infrastructure project, we can actually think about it in context of, well, which are the different user groups that are actually getting benefit out of this, and recognising that user groups are not just councils or not just citizens, but they are both distinct user groups that we actually need to focus on. And the DTA is really big on how you can actually articulate your different user sets and how you actually find benefit for each of them when you're actually looking at projects in the future. How can they do it better? Well, if I could solve that problem, I'm sure I'd be a much richer man. But I mean, I think that we're looking at something like this where it's a three-tier of government approach, and you've got everything from local governments all the way up to the federal government trying to help lend a hand in this, and even things like the Smart Cities and Suburbs program and how the actual funding mechanisms work in that. It's all part and parcel of the problem as well as the actual successes that I think you can have. And I think when we're actually looking at how we can collaborate better, it's just about being more open to talking about what we're actually doing. And I think that events like this, where you actually got a whole bunch of people in the room together, are great. But I think we need to be more open about the problems we face as well as just the glossy brochures on the other side. Well, I mean, I think that Australia is relatively, even though we're a few years into smart cities, we are still relatively immature in this space. And when you look at places like the US, so many of their smart cities projects are actually industry-led. We get some things where, people like Telstra are actually trying to lead smart cities projects to try and, get some good results for them as well as, for the local governments over in Western Australia and things like that. So I think we actually need to be more open to asking industry how they can actually lead our smart cities projects for us, since they are far more expert in this and have the international experience to lead this. I think the event so far today has been really interesting. There are so many amazing projects, and I mean, who would have thought that smart beaches would be something that you'd think of when you think about smart cities? But certainly I am now, and I think that's a really great thing.